Yes. Yes, they do. But there are some problems.
Check it out, I'm in the house like carpet. And if there's too many heads in my
Okay, jokes aside, I think this is an interesting discussion, and I'm not really qualified to talk about it, but it's not going to stop me from trying. Helldivers 2 is coming to Xbox, and it sparked up a lot of conversation about a possible Halo collab. But that's also then sparked up another conversation about if they should be in Helldivers at all, with a sizable amount of players saying they don't want collabs of any kind in the game. And I want to give my 2 cents on it, because I have never had and never will have a wrong opinion in my life. Speaking of opinions, this video will have a lot of them. I mean, all of my videos have opinions, it's kind of how a commentary works, but this one will have more. If you disagree with my opinion, you can go fuck yourself. That is absolutely fine, and I'd like to hear what you have to say down in the comments below. Even if you want to be an asshole about it for some reason, it might still be able to offer a unique perspective. Or at the very least, give me a good laugh. But I'm getting distracted, let's get back on topic. Collabs, collaborations, crossovers, licensed content, whatever name you give them, are very simple. It's when one or multiple pre-existing franchises interact within the same piece of media. For games, that usually means when something from another intellectual property, or IP, is added as a cosmetic, playable character, map or environment, mission or objective, and in some cases it can actually be part of the lore. Brief reminder that Marvel plays a big part in Fortnite's greater narrative. I wish I was making that up. What the fuck? Also, Boltmar from the future here, I forgot to put this in the script, but this can also include when celebrities or brands are added to a game as well. I forgot to mention that, sorry. Despite only recently becoming a controversial thing, or at least a widespread controversial thing, they're pretty old. Smash Bros and Marvel vs. Capcom are 2 franchises that's entire existence is just one big crossover. And odds are, they're both older than most people watching this video. If they aren't, then congratulations on being a fossil, I guess. But no matter how prehistoric you might be, we can all see why they've been stirring up that controversy. Name a big game, any big game. Odds are they've collaborated with at least one other franchise in the past couple of months. PUBG, Dead by Daylight, Call of Duty, Fortnite, Rainbow Six Siege, Overwatch, Apex Legends, Rocket League, Mortal Kombat, Minecraft. You want me to keep going? Even something nobody cares about like Rogue Company still did them for some reason. With who? It's easy to see why a lot of players are not very keen on the idea. They're oversaturated. Really oversaturated actually. People want to play Helldivers for Helldivers. They don't want to play Helldivers. Also featuring John Marston from Red Dead, Archer from, well, Archer, and the goddamn bride from Kill Bill or something like that. Would it be funny? Yes. For all of about 5 minutes, then the charm would just immediately vanish. And that's ignoring some of the other problems that come with this kind of stuff as well. That doesn't mean that inherently they're a bad thing. Something like Dead by Daylight, for instance, actually does them really well, for the most part. Even when it's something purely cosmetic, like their recent Witcher costumes. Some of its licensed content is what's helped it grow an identity, and killers like Demogorgon, Sadako, Chucky, Vecna, and Keneki are some of my favourite ways to play that game. So when you do them right, they can be a really fun celebration of a franchise, and could maybe even get some people interested in it who otherwise wouldn't have checked it out. That's something I think needs to be made clear. Collabs aren't just destined to be bad, it's not like all the stars align to make sure they're shit. That's a really pessimistic way of looking at it. When people clearly give a shit about what they're doing, odds are the end product will usually be at least decent, and Helldivers is no different. How can I be sure? Well, because the one collaboration they've ever done was actually pretty good. Not perfect, the way they actually implemented it was not good in the slightest, but ignoring that and just looking at the content we got, it's really well made and doesn't suffer a lot of the problems other collabs do. How so? Well, let me break it down for you, Mark.
There, the meme's dead. Killed it. Gone. It's not coming back. I get one fucking camera. Wait, if I'm here, is this my fucking cameo?
I think the biggest problem a lot of crossovers have is that they just don't fit in. They can ruin art styles and usually make no sense thematically. Call of Duty, a franchise about military combat that incorporates actual wars that happened in our world where real people lost their lives, has added Beavis and Butthead, Nicki Minaj, American Dad, Messi, The Boys, Gundam, Attack on Titan, and the fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You remember that part in the 1990 Ninja Turtles movie where Raphael was engaged in open combat in the Gulf War? The dates even line up, so it must have happened. But Killzone actually incorporates itself seamlessly into Helldivers. Both the outfits look right at home. Yeah, they're a bit exaggerated because Killzone is a needlessly edgy thing, but they look no less out of place than this, or this, or this, or these. The armor actually fits in better than some of the original outfits, I think, without compromising Helldivers' art style, or Killzone's, because that's another problem. A lot of times, to make a character work in another game, elements of their original design have to be sacrificed. Dead by Daylight made Nemesis snack-sized. Look at the height difference between these two. Look at how much designs get sanitized to fit into Fortnite. Look at Leatherface. What did they do to him? But the Obedient and Dutiful armors look very similar to their source material. The only real noticeable difference to me is the colors on Dutiful being changed a bit. And I'm not gonna act like I'm a Killzone buff, but I think thematically it fits. It's a game set in the future about a continuous intergalactic war. If the wiki is to be believed. That's literally the plot to Helldivers. Another problem I have is that we often only see big IPs get added. It's done to promote stuff or because it's a huge franchise. DC has thousands of characters to choose from, nearly a century's worth of work to comb through for material, and what did Fortnite add recently? A second Superman skin. Why? Because the movie's coming out, there is literally no other reason. It's almost always something mainstream. Collaborations could be a really cool way to see smaller franchises get some spotlight, but it's never gonna happen. Odds are 9 times out of 10, it's something that I know, it's a franchise that I know, that's being added. Pretty well too, it's not something that I've just heard a passing mention of. My dad will probably know a good portion of them, and he's older than Pong. But Killzone hasn't had a game, or hell, anything, in nearly 12 years. And from what I looked up, while it never performed awfully, it was never a household franchise. So, call me crazy, I don't think they added it because of money. Well, okay, they did add it because of money, but there was more to it than that. And it wasn't just cosmetic, we actually got content. Not saying this never happens, of course, Mortal Kombat clearly puts a lot of effort into its guest fighters, but usually all we get from this kind of stuff is cosmetics. Here, we got 3 primaries, a stratagem, and a new armor passive, and it's all pretty good, minus one small, teeny tiny problem. All the guns are pretty fun and unique. Well, except the SMG, it doesn't really have an identity to me, it feels like, it's just a knight with slightly old stats. I'm not saying it's bad, just kind of bland, but the assault rifle, sign me up. A faster fire rate and the drum magazine? Need I say more? Well, the plasma sniper is not good. It's not good, but I still like it. It can be a fun meme weapon. The Wasp is a surprisingly solid support weapon as well, that can deal with a lot of medium-sized enemies in like a single shot, as well as being able to chip away at heavier targets. And Acclimated is still the best elemental passive. The only situation I think it gets beat out in is if you're going against the Flame Boys, but besides that, this is always my go-to. Arrowhead, please for the love of God, can you buff Electrical Conduit and Advanced Filtration? I am begging you. You buff the other bad passives. Where's the love for these two? So to repeat what I said at the start of the video, yes, I think collaborations do belong in Helldivers. So long as they actually fit visually and narratively, without having to sacrifice too much of what makes the original IP unique, and if the content added is actually good. Does that mean I want more? Well, that's kind of complicated. There are so many things I think could fit. There's the obvious choices like Warhammer 40k, Starship Troopers, Crisis, Halo, Deep Rock. I'm gonna say fucking Rock and Stone before someone else in the comments does. That community is actually like a hive mind. As well as some lesser pick choices like Dead Space. I think Isaac Clarke's helmet would look really cool with a few alterations. Killing Floor as well. The whole Zine armor feels like it would fit right in, with a few tweaks of course. I'd love to see it all added. Over time. I do not want a crossover every other week, even if that was actually feasible, because that would kill any identity this game has, and after a bit, it would just lose the magic. If it was, say, every 4, 6 to 8 months, I think that's a fine rate to pump them out, because that actually allows people to get hyped up for what the next one could be. I can imagine a bunch of people would be speculating over it. And the devs seem to agree. They themselves have said they want to space them out, but there's other problems. Licensed content is licensed. That means Arrowhead don't have any kind of control over it. They cannot make changes unless the license holders allow it. That also means the license can be pulled pretty much whenever the holders want. Sorry, I'm using Dead by Daylight as an example again, because it is ripe with stuff like this. Some guest characters are given multiple cosmetics, with the developers even being given the ability to make their own unique to the game, while others get jack shit, maybe one outfit if they're lucky. Dead by Daylight has also had multiple chapters just straight up removed from the game, because the rights fell through. Stranger Things was taken out of the game for a couple of years, but thankfully did come back. And recently, Pinhead was removed as well. You can feel that in this game too. All the Killzone guns cannot be customized, even though in their home games they apparently can make it make sense. Which really sucks, because it means nobody is ever going to use those guns, even if they were still available. That also means if later down the line we get some kind of ability to change our armor color, this most likely won't have it, which sucks even more, because both the Killzone outfits look absolutely fire, and I wish I could match more stuff with them. It could happen, but that falls on whoever owns the IP. Some companies don't really care and are pretty chill about you altering their stuff. Others are dickheads. It's a case-by-case basis. Another point of contention is the price, because stuff like this has to cost more. A license is something that you buy, and obviously the people who brought it are gonna want to make their money back. This usually means all the stuff added from it costs more and can't be brought with a free currency if the game has it. I'm lucky enough to have disposable income, but unfortunately, not everybody on the earth is me. Once again, we can see this on full display. The Killzone content was originally going to be in the War Bond, but it was going to be more expensive, and after Backlash, half of it was added to the Superstore, where it still cost an absolute fortune. The second half was given away for free, but at that point the damage was already kind of done. That didn't fix the issue that half of it cost so much, and the fact that it has never come back. I don't know how many days it's been. I'm going to put it on screen real quick. So, I don't really know. I do think more collaborations belong in Helldivers, but if they're going to have such big limitations, then I don't want them. And there's not really a workaround for it either. If this was, say, some hypothetical scenario where Arrowhead could add whatever they wanted without any kind of limitations at the same price as normal, without the possibility of the license holders being dickheads and just taking it away, then this would be a slam dunk yes. Unfortunately, this is not a hypothetical scenario. It's real life, where Beavis and Butthead fought in the Gulf War apparently. As much as that sucks, I think the devs have found a good compromise. Inspiration. The latest Superstore armor takes a few notes from Judge Dredd. Basically, they just kind of merged him with the default armor, and guess what? It looks awesome. It is easily in my top 10 favorite outfits. Even the gun is a nod to the guy with the self-targeting thing, and I love it. I think unless we can find a way to make collabs more consumer friendly, this is the next best thing. Legally distinct knockoffs. And given how I do not think we are going to realistically find a way to make that happen, this is the next best thing. Sucks that's how it has to be, but it's better than nothing, I guess. This is a very complicated subject to talk about in case it was not obvious. Normally this is the part where I'd start suggesting stuff, but I don't know how copyright law works. Do I look like I do? And I'm not looking it up either for like a 15-minute video. I have other things to do. Do you see how clogged my schedule is? But hey, I technically answered the question the title asked, so my work is done, gentlemen. Time to hopefully not disappear for another 2 months. For real though, I really want to see what you guys think about this. Do you think collabs belong in the game at all? If yes, let me know how you think their implementation could be improved and what you'd like to see. If you don't think they belong in the game, I do not understand that perspective at all, but we're all entitled to our own opinions, so I'd like to hear what you have to say. But besides that, I hope you had an above average day, I hope the rest of your day continues to be above average, and yes, I know my voice sounds weird. If you think you're the first person to comment that, you're not. And if you are going to comment about it, at least try and be creative. I've been compared to Scout from TF2, which I take more as a compliment, a New Yorker, which is more insulting than being called the N-word, and the guy from Boston. The funniest comment gets pinned, probably, if I don't forget. Okay, see you later.
Check it out, I'm in the house like carpet. And if there's too many heads in my blunt, I won't spark it. I'll put it in my pocket and save it like rocket fuel. Till everybody's gone and it's cool, then I spark it up with my brother. His mama named him Moan, but I call him Moan Lover. And he's more than a cover, he's a quilt. We're putting shit together like the house that John built on a hill. Cause this shit gonna feel like velvet, turtle. My style fits tighter than a girdle. If you hate it, then you can just leave it like Beaver. But in a day or two, I'll make you a true believer in me. Cause like the alphabet, you'll see that ism kicks a rhyme, not your everyday soliloquy. Like Chef Boyardee, my rhyme is truly cooking. Peace to Matty Rich, cause he's straight out of Brooklyn, New York. I don't eat pork or swine. twine when I dine. I drink a cup of Kool-Aid, not a big glass of wine, or again, Heine, if you have time, I'll drop rhyme again.
A person who